Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us for our 6 p.m. news over Camdis Television. Let's begin with our headlines. A major leap toward modern governance is underway as Cameroon prepares to launch a nationwide digital census designed to capture comprehensive data on population, housing, agriculture, and livestock. Presented in Yaoundé on April 29, 2026 by government ministers, the initiative is intended to strengthen development planning and ensure public policies are based on accurate and up-to-date data national statistics across all key sectors. A major shift in Africa's health landscape is emerging as leaders at the World Health Summit call for reduced reliance on foreign aid and greater local control of health systems. You have these stories and more in a bit. Thanks once more for joining us, and as you heard in one of our lead stories, Cameroon is set to roll out a major nationwide census covering population, housing, agriculture, and livestock in a bid to modernize planning and anchor public policies in a reliable, up-to-date data. Government ministers unveiled the framework for the strategic operation in Yaoundé on April 29, 2026, calling it a cornerstone for the country's development agenda. Mado Shekwati and Betrantita.
The government says combined census marks a new step in modernizing Cameroon's planning tools. Speaking at the joint press briefing, several cabinet members set out the stakes and methodology of the exercise, which will merge what have traditionally been separate counts into a single technology-driven operation. The goal is to produce accurate statistics to guide public policies, target resources, and better respond to the needs of citizens across all 10 regions.
Since independence in 1960, Cameroon has conducted 3 general population and housing censuses in 1976, 1987, and 2005. These censuses have provided our country with statistical data on the various quantitative and qualitative characteristics of the population.
To boost efficiency, the census will integrate digital technologies for the data capture and processing. Officials say this will improve data quality, shorten turnaround times, and reduce errors compared to paper-based methods used in the past.
To support the implementation of the National Development Strategy and the Sustainable Development Goals, in order to improve the planning of public investments over time and across geographical areas.
Agricultural sector, the census is critical to mapping the real conditions of the rural production. They highlighted the need to quantify, track pastoral trends, and identify gaps in animal health coverage.
For livestock farming, this census will provide information on herd size and structure, on farming system, on actors, stockholders, and the use of veterinary services, the mobilization of all stockholders to foster support and the establishment of a climate and trust around the census operation.
In the agricultural sector, they echoed the call, emphasizing grassroots communication to secure the trust and participation of farmers.
Livestock is a major strategic initiative designed to provide the country with a comprehensive, reliable, relevant, up-to-date, and sufficient disaggregated database on the agriculture, livestock, and aquaculture sector. Livestock is an important tool for informing public decision makers. The data collected provides a clearer understanding of the structure and functioning of the rural sector.
Beyond numbers, the government frames the census as a matter of sovereignty and international credibility. Reliable demographic and economic data, officials argue, strengthens Cameroon's hand with development partners and investors while enabling evidence-based budgeting at home. Field deployment dates and the recruitment of numerators are expected to be announced in the coming weeks. For now, the message from Yaoundé is clear. Without accurate data, there is no effective planning, and without planning, no emergence.
Cameroon stepped into the international education spotlight on April 29, 2026 as the Minister of Basic Education, Professor Laurent Serge Etundingwa, was elected President of the Education of the State and Government of La Francophonie for a 2-year term. The election held during the opening ceremony of the 61st ministerial session at the Yaoundé Conference Center positions Cameroon at the heart of a Francophonie education policy for the next biennium. Bertrand Tita once more in the following report.
From April 27 to May 1, Yaoundé is hosting the 61st ministerial session of Confermen, a high-level gathering held every 2 years that brings together education ministers from across La Francophonie, alongside technical and financial partners, experts and institutions. The Yaoundé meeting is tasked with tackling common challenges facing national education systems, sharing best practices and building synergies to accelerate transformation across Francophone space. A major item on the agenda is the election of a new Secretary General as the current mandate has expired. Cameroon, which now holds the presidency, is also a candidate for the strategic post. In education, the country points to its experience with bilingualism, multilingual education, and a competency-based approach as models for others. Recent reforms focused on teacher professionalization, improved governance, and student learning assessment have been shaped by data from PASEC, Confermen's program for the analysis of education system. Outlining his vision, Professor Etundingwa said Cameroon will defend a pragmatic and inclusive vision of education, an education centered on quality of learning, the effective evaluation of the teaching profession, and quality across all regions. He called on stronger cooperation oriented towards concrete, contextualized solutions supported by reliable data, with the goal of making Confermen a true driver of innovation for sustainable system transformation. Strategic areas under discussion in Yaoundé include strengthening teacher training, adapting curricula to socio-economic realities, accelerating digital transformation, reducing inequalities in access and achievement, improving governance and financing, emphasizing learning assessment, and promoting education for citizenship and peace. The session is expected to shape national policies, especially in primary school. Recommendation from Yaoundé could drive greater alignment with international standards, the adoption of good practices from other Francophone states, and the reinforcement of ongoing reforms. For Cameroon, hosting the 61st session is a chance to showcase not only its education reforms, but also its cultural strength and geostrategic role in Africa. For Confermen, the next 2 years under Cameroon's presidency will test whether Francophone cooperation can deliver the innovation and quality member states say they want, from policy rooms in Yaoundé to classrooms across Francophone world.
After his election as president, Cameroon's Minister of Basic Education, Professor Laurent Serge Etundingwa, said this mandate is that of continuity, innovations, and standard. Let's take a listen to him in the following excerpt carefully selected by Bertrand Tita. He is speaking on the microphone of Elise Yanda.
As we heard the speeches, Confermen is a very, very old organ created in 1960 and they have been going experiences, methodologies. But now we can say that we have already reached good results that we need to improve and adapt to the new context. And the taking office of Cameroon will follow what our predecessor did, especially Ivory Coast, who is handing over the bucket to us to continue. And we are very glad and proud that some of the reform we have to undergo has been overtaken years ago by our policy here, so that we feel comfortable, but we have to move forward to look around and see what all our brother nations around are doing, because nobody have to be left behind. This is what we will try to do in the next 2 years.
The endless opportunities offered by agricultural sector have been highlighted in Yaoundé this Thursday. This was during the Open Door Day organized by Istapa Self-Prepar at the SWA campus of the institution. The event brought together local government officials, professionals from the agro-pastoral sector, students and entrepreneurs. We have Elise Yanda and Promise Akanti in the following report.
Highlighting the role of the agro-pastoral and environmental sectors as drivers of innovation, youth empowerment, and sustainable entrepreneurial development, that is the main objective of the Open Day at Istapa Self-Prepar that took place this Thursday, April 30, at the SWA campus of the institution, holding under the theme Shaping the Future of Agro-Pastoralism, the Environment and Renewable Energy. The Higher Institute of Applied Agro-Pastoral Technologies, Istapa, and the Center for Advanced Professional Training in Livestock, Fish Farming and Agriculture Self-Prepar in SWA offer professional training up to the master's level.
We have a vocational training called Self-Prepar, and then we have a higher education called Istapas. 6 months for the vocational training, and then for the higher education it's like, you have HND, bachelor and masters. See it as a prototype of professionalization of studying. I don't know.
The main objective of the Open Door Day being to raise awareness among young people, students, and the general public of the opportunities offered by the modern agro-pastoral sector and related professions, while promoting practical, technological, and entrepreneurship-oriented approaches. Istapa and Self-Prepar reaffirmed their commitment to promoting innovation, developing practical skills, and encouraging the emergence of a new generation of entrepreneurs capable of transforming agriculture, livestock farming, the environment, and renewable energy into modern, sustainable sectors, offering new opportunities.
We are launching our program, our social program, because we welcome this month our first batch of orphan, for which we are offering free training. We are equipping them and then we are training them for free.
Through an educational approach based on skills, innovation, and practical experience, the academic complex positions itself as a true incubator for talents and entrepreneurs, contributing to the emergence of a new generation of sustainable development stakeholders.
To come here, they will be sure that they will learn some trade. In addition to the diploma, they will have some master some trade that we offer here as training, as a complement of the training.
With its campus located on the Yaoundé-SWA road precisely at Ebogo 1, Istapa Self-Prepar offers innovative courses that are shaping the agro-pastoral sector of tomorrow, including greenhouse farming, modern fish farming techniques, snail farming, and renewable energy solutions, including wind, solar, and biogas. The event brought together local government officials, professionals from the agro-pastoral sector, students, and entrepreneurs.
Cameroon's young innovators are making waves on the continental stage at the just-ended Science Feast Africa in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. Cameroonian student Mbuli Precious won a third prize for a hydroponic farming system that grows crops without soil. The award shines a spotlight on youth-led solutions to Africa's food security and climate challenges. Bertrand Tita has an in-depth in the following report.
Science Fest Africa brought together bright minds from more than 27 countries, showcasing some of the continent's most cutting-edge advances in science and technology. This year, Cameroon stood tall. Mbuli Precious, a student at Marif Schools in Cameroon, earned third place with a hydroponic farming innovation designed to boost food production while conserving resources.
This project is basically about being able to plant without actually using soil. So here we have a setup with the pot of plants in it. Then we have a pump which pumps this water solution. So this solution actually contains all the nutrients that we will need for the plants to grow. Contains substances like NPK and calcium nitrate.
Hydroponics, which replaces soil with nutrient-rich water, offers key advantages. The system reduces water consumption by up to 90% compared to traditional farming, maximizes use of limited space, shortens crops cycles, and delivers higher yields. For a country facing pressure on arable land and erratic rainfall, the technology holds strong promise.
The fact that we live in a tropical area and we also live in an economic city which is very crowded, this is very convenient, this is space economizing and is convenient for any climate or any weather.
The achievement reinforces Cameroon's growing reputation as a rising force in African innovation and technology. It also signals the impact of STEM education and youth mentorship in nurturing problem solvers. With this third place finished, Cameroon leaves Abidjan not only with a trophy, but with renewed confidence that its young minds are ready to shape the future of African agriculture.
And if you're just joining us, it is the 6 p.m. news over Camdis Television. Let's now take you beyond our borders to get updates of what make news. First stop in Kenya, where a major shift in Africa's health landscape is emerging as leaders at the World Health Summit in Nairobi call for reduced reliance on foreign aid and greater local control of health systems. Despite disruptions caused by Donald Trump's dismantling of U.S. aid, officials see it as an opportunity to boost domestic investment. Second stop will be in Uganda and then Burkina Faso. These stories in the video report. Leaders at the World Health Summit in Nairobi say recent cuts to U.S. aid to Africa signal the end of an outdated donor-dependent development model and a shift toward health sovereignty, urging African nations to finance and manage their own health systems. While the decision by Donald Trump to dismantle U.S. aid has sparked controversy and disrupted access to critical treatments, summit officials argue it should serve as a wake-up call for stronger local investment and independence, even as they warn against unequal bilateral deals that could exploit Africa's health data without fair benefit sharing. A deadly boat accident on the Nguse River in western Uganda has left at least 20 people feared dead, with search and rescue teams still working to locate the missing. The incident happened when a locally made canoe carrying more than 30 passengers along with bags of charcoal capsized. 8 survivors have been rescued and are currently receiving medical care, while authorities have called on families of the victims to come forward. Marine police in Kigadi district have opened an investigation with initial reports suggesting overloading, night travel and the condition of the vessel as possible causes. The tragedy once again raises concerns over water transport safety in the region, where similar accidents, especially on Lake Victoria, have claimed many lives in the past. Following recent coordination attacks in neighboring Mali, Burkina Faso's military authorities have reinforced security in Ouagadougou and across the country, deploying forces to key locations and urging citizens to report suspicious activity, particularly near sensitive sites like military bases and airports. Officials say the operation aims to boost vigilance and gather intelligence amid ongoing threat from extremist groups linked to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State, with the army remaining on high alert. The situation has also raised regional concerns as Niger cancelled May Day celebrations for security reasons, while Cote d'Ivoire anticipates a possible influx of refugees despite maintaining that its borders are secure. And that news out of the country takes us to the end of our 6 p.m. news over Kambi's television. Do enjoy the rest of the evening in the company of interesting programs over the Republican channel. Meanwhile, we'll meet again tomorrow at exactly 6 p.m. Go to them.